Trust, such a fragile, dangerous thing, isn't it? You give it away like it's candy, hoping someone will hold it gently, treat it with care. But tell me, how many times has it been crushed, twisted, used as a weapon against you? You see, the ones you trust are the ones closest to your heart, and that's why their betrayal cuts the deepest. Oh, but you didn't see it coming, did you? The smiles, the kind words, the promises they painted themselves as angels, didn't they? Wings so white, words so sweet. But angels, my dear, are just devils in disguise. All it takes is a little push, a little temptation, and those wings turn to ash, revealing the monster beneath. You trusted them because you wanted to believe in the good, in the light. But let me ask you something. Have you ever seen an angel that didn't fall? They all fall eventually. That's the cruel joke of it. Trust blinds you, makes you soft, makes you weak. And in this world, weakness is an invitation, a neon sign begging someone to use you, to hurt you. So here you are, broken, betrayed, wondering what went wrong. Let me tell you, nothing went wrong. This is the way of things. The devil was once an angel, remember? Sweetness turns sour, light gives way to shadow. And trust. Trust is the thread they'll use to hang you. But don't you worry. This isn't the end of your story. Oh no. This is just the beginning. You've been burned, scarred, left in the dark, but darkness, my friend, is where power is born. And I'm going to show you how to use it. You've felt it, haven't you? That sinking weight in your chest when trust shatters. It starts with a whisper, a doubt creeping in. But before you can stop it, the truth crashes down like a tidal wave. The angel you thought would protect you, they're the very devil that struck you down. And now, here you are, trapped in the ruins of your own expectations. You trusted too easily, gave away pieces of yourself to people who didn't deserve them. But don't beat yourself up too much, it's a mistake we all make. We're wired to seek connection, to crave the comfort of believing someone has our back. But what happens when the knife is in their hand and you're the one bleeding? Oh, let's not pretend this is the first time. Think back, how many times have you been betrayed, lied to, or left behind by the very people you thought you could count on? Friends who swore they'd never leave, lovers who promised forever, family who said they'd always stand by you. They all had halos, didn't they? Halos that blinded you to the truth. Everyone has a breaking point, a moment when their mask slips and their true face is revealed. But here's the ugly part, it's not just them. No, the real betrayal comes from within. You betrayed yourself when you ignored the red flags, when you made excuses for their behavior, when you gave chance after chance to someone who didn't deserve it. You saw the cracks, the shadows, the lies, but you closed your eyes because it was easier to believe the illusion than face the reality. And now you're angry, not just at them, but at yourself. Angry because you let them in. Angry because you let them hurt you. Angry because deep down you knew better, but you still hoped they'd prove you wrong. That's the trap of trust. It's not just about them. It's about you too. You wanted to believe they were better, that the world wasn't as cruel as it seemed, that maybe, just maybe, someone could truly be an angel. But angels don't exist, do they? Not in the way you imagined. Even the brightest ones have shadows, and it's in those shadows that betrayal is born. Look at what it's done to you. You've built walls so high you can't see over them. You've locked away your heart, convinced that no one will ever deserve it again. But even behind those walls, the pain lingers. The memories replay, the wounds ache, and trust, it feels like a poison now, doesn't it? A cruel joke that keeps you tethered to the past, afraid to move forward. And here's the worst part, the world doesn't care. Your tears? They're invisible. Your pain, it's just background noise. Everyone's too busy fighting their own battles, carrying their own betrayals to notice yours. So you bury it, plaster on a smile, and pretend you're fine. But inside you're anything but fine. You're tired, aren't you? Tired of giving and getting nothing in return. Tired of hoping only to be disappointed. Tired of the cycle, the trust, the betrayal, the pain. You wanted to stop, but you don't know how. You're stuck, caught between the desire to protect yourself and the longing to believe again. This is the problem, my friend. Trust isn't just a gift, it's a gamble. And when you lose, the cost is steep. It leaves you questioning everything: your choices, your worth, your place in this unforgiving world. But here's the truth you need to hear. This pain, this betrayal, this darkness, it's not the end of you. No, it's a fire. And fire, when controlled, becomes the most powerful weapon of all. You're sitting there, wallowing in the pain, aren't you? Reliving every betrayal, every moment someone you trusted turned their back on you. It's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it? But let me ask you something: what are you doing about it? Crying? Complaining? Hiding behind your walls, thinking that'll keep you safe? Let me tell you something raw, something you probably don't want to hear. Your tears won't change a damn thing. The world doesn't care about your pain. People don't stop betraying you just because you're hurt. Do you think the ones who broke your trust are losing sleep over what they did? No. They've moved on while you're still stuck in this endless loop of hurt and regret. You want to stay there? Fine. But don't pretend it's their fault anymore. No one can betray you twice unless you hand them the knife again. And you do, don't you? You hold on to the fantasy that they'll change, that things will get better, that maybe if you try harder, they won't hurt you again. That's where you fail. Not because they betrayed you, but because you keep betraying yourself. Think about it. Who let them in? Who ignored the signs? Who gave them the power to hurt you? It was you. I know that stings, but it's the truth. You've been walking through life handing out trust like it's candy on Halloween, hoping someone will cherish it. But this world isn't filled with cherubs, it's filled with wolves. And you. You've been the lamb for far too long. Oh, but I see it in you. There's a fire in there smothered under all that pain. You want revenge, don't you? You want to prove them wrong, to rise above the ashes they left you in. But let me tell you, revenge isn't about getting even. It's about transformation. It's about taking every ounce of betrayal, every scar, and turning it into something they can't touch: power. But first, you have to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're powerless. Stop waiting for someone to come along and fix you. Nobody is coming. The only person who can pull you out of this mess is staring back at you in the mirror. But you. You've been too busy feeling sorry for yourself to realize that the person you've been waiting for has been there all along. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep blaming the world for your pain, or are you going to own it? Because here's the thing: pain isn't your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Betrayal isn't the end. It's the beginning. Every time someone broke your trust, they handed you a lesson. Did you learn it, or did you ignore it? You have a choice to make. You can stay down, let the weight of betrayal crush you, let the scars define you. Or you can stand up, wipe those tears, and start seeing the world for what it really is. Trust isn't free, it's earned. And most people, they're not worthy of it. But that's not their problem, it's yours. It's time to start being smarter, harder, stronger. Stop looking for angels in a world full of devils. Stop handing out your trust like it's limitless. Start protecting what matters: yourself, your power, your future. You can't change what they did to you, but you can damn well decide what you'll do next. So, are you ready to stop being the victim? Are you ready to take control, to master the pain, to turn betrayal into fuel? The choice is yours. Stay weak, stay blind, stay broken, or rise stronger than ever. But make no mistake, this is your moment. Don't waste it. So, you've been betrayed, broken, burned. But what if I told you that this pain, the very thing you think is destroying you, is actually your greatest weapon? Sounds twisted, doesn't it? But think about it. Every wound, every scar, every ounce of betrayal has carved you into something new. The question is, will you use it, or will you let it use you? Here's the truth you need to hear. Trust isn't the problem. No, trust is just a tool. The problem is how you've been wielding it. You've been too careless, too naive. You've given your trust away for free, expecting loyalty in return. But loyalty isn't bought with kindness, it's earned through fire. So stop trusting blindly. Instead, learn to see trust for what it is: a currency, a gamble, a weapon. The first step: stop handing out pieces of yourself to people who haven't proven they deserve them. Test them. Watch them. Let their actions, not their words, decide whether they're worthy. Because words are cheap. Promises are empty. Only actions reveal the truth. And while you're testing them, start working on the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. You see, betrayal cuts so deep because it preys on your insecurities, your fears, your need for validation. But what if you didn't need anyone else to validate you? What if you were so strong, so complete, that no betrayal could break you? Here's how you do it. First, embrace the pain. Stop running from it. Stop numbing it. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Pain is your teacher, your forge. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also the fire that hardens steel. Every time you face it, every time you learn from it, you grow stronger. Next, master your emotions. Betrayal stirs up rage, sadness, fear, all powerful forces that can either destroy you or fuel you. The key is control. Don't let these emotions run wild. Don't let them rule you. Instead, harness them. Turn your anger into focus, your sadness into resolve, your fear into sharp, unbreakable clarity. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about owning them, shaping them, turning them into tools you can use. And then, build your armor. Not the kind that keeps everyone out, but the kind that protects you without isolating you. This armor comes from self-respect, from knowing your worth, from setting boundaries that no one can cross. When you respect yourself, when you truly value who you are, you stop letting unworthy people into your life. You stop handing them the power to hurt you. But let's not stop there. Let's go deeper. You want to rise above betrayal? Then stop playing defense and start playing offense. Start thinking like a strategist, like a master of the game. Know who to trust, who keep at arm's length, and who to cut out entirely. This isn't about being cold or cruel, it's about being smart, about protecting your energy and investing it wisely. And don't forget, the world doesn't owe you fairness, kindness, or loyalty, so stop expecting it. Instead, focus on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, your choices. Trust those who earn it, but never give away the parts of yourself you can't afford to lose. Finally, let go of the past. Not in the sense of forgetting, no, never forget. Remember every betrayal, every lesson, every scar, but don't let them weigh you down. Use them as fuel, as reminders of how far you've come, of how strong you've become. So here it is, your solution. Laid bare. Trust wisely. Master your emotions. And build yourself into someone unbreakable. You don't need angels to save you, you need your own wings. And once you've built them, oh, how high you'll fly. Higher than they ever dreamed, beyond their reach, untouchable and unstoppable. Now, imagine this, every scar, every betrayal, every ounce of pain you've endured, it's not a weakness. No, it's your foundation, your armor, your strength. Close your eyes and see yourself for what you truly are. Not a victim, not a pawn, but a force waiting to awaken. You're not fragile. You're not broken. You're a storm, waiting to tear through everything that stands in your way. Think about the fire inside you, the one you've been ignoring, smothering, pretending doesn't exist. It's time to fan those flames, to let them grow, to let them consume every doubt, every fear, every lie you've been told about who you are. That fire is your power. And the beauty of fire, it doesn't apologize. It doesn't wait for permission. It burns, it blazes, it transforms. You've been betrayed, yes, you've been hurt. But let me tell you something, pain is not your enemy. Pain is a gift. It's proof that you're alive, that you're still fighting, that you haven't been defeated. Use it. Let it sharpen you, let it guide you, let it remind you of what you're capable of. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, and you, my friend, are about to become unbreakable. Picture this, the person you were before the betrayal. They're gone. And that's a good thing. They were soft, trusting, unguarded. But the person you're becoming, oh, there's something else entirely. They're calculating, focused, unstoppable. They don't beg for trust, they demand respect. They don't crumble under pressure, they thrive in it. Now, I want you to see it. Visualize it. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high. You've been through hell, and yet here you are. Not broken, but reforged. The people who doubted you, who betrayed you, who thought they could break you, they don't define you. You define you. Feel the power in that. Feel the control. You're no longer the person who hands out trust like it's candy, who bends and breaks to make others happy. You've learned, haven't you? You've learned that trust is earned, that loyalty is rare, and that your power lies in knowing when to let go. And here's the thing, the people who truly matter, They'll see your strength and rise to meet it. They won't try to dim your fire, they'll want to stand in its warmth. But the ones who can't handle it, they'll scatter like shadows, unable to withstand your light. And that's exactly how it should be. You are the master of your own fate now. No one controls you. No one dictates your worth. You've taken every betrayal, every scar, and turned it into something beautiful, something untouchable. You've become someone they can't hurt, someone they can't manipulate, someone they'll never forget. So, what's next? That's up to you. The world is yours for the taking. But remember this, power isn't about crushing others. It's about lifting yourself higher. It's about turning every setback into a stepping stone, every failure into fuel, every wound into wisdom. Look in the mirror. See the person staring back at you. That's not someone who's been defeated. That's someone who's survived, someone who's stronger than they ever thought possible. That's someone who's ready to rise. And when you rise, they'll watch in awe. The ones who doubted you, who betrayed you, they'll see what you've become. And they'll regret ever underestimating you. Because now you're unstoppable. And the world will have no choice but to bow to your strength. Now, here we are, the moment of truth. Everything I've said, everything you've felt, none of it matters, unless you decide to act. That's right, decide. Because change, real change, doesn't come from wishing, from hoping, or from waiting. It comes from a decision, a ruthless, unapologetic decision to take control of your life. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay in the shadows, licking your wounds, letting the world pass you by? Or are you going to rise? Are you going to stand up, look the world in the eye and say, I'm done playing the victim? Look around you. This world, it isn't kind. It isn't fair. It doesn't hand out justice on a silver platter. But you already know that, don't you? You've lived it. You've felt the sting of betrayal, the ache of disappointment, the suffocating weight of being cast aside. But let me tell you something. That pain, that darkness, that's where your power lies. Stop hiding from it. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Own it. Let it fuel you. Because the world doesn't bow to those who cry about their scars. It bows to those who wear them like armor. And you've got enough scars to make you invincible. Here's the reality. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not some mythical hero. The only person who can pull you out of this darkness is staring back at you in the mirror. And let me tell you a secret. That person, they're stronger than you think. They've survived every storm, every betrayal, every ounce of pain, and they're still here. But surviving isn't enough, is enough. No, you're meant for more than just surviving. You're meant to thrive, to conquer, to dominate. And that starts now. Right here, right now, you make the choice to rise or to remain. I want you to remember something. The ones who betrayed you, the ones who doubted you, they're watching. Maybe not openly, but they're watching. And they're expecting you to stay down. They're expecting you to crumble under the weight of it all. So prove them wrong. Show them what happens when you take every ounce of pain, every tear, every scream, and turn it into unstoppable power. Picture it, you walking into every room with your head held high, your confidence unshakable. The people who once underestimated you, they're silent now because they can't comprehend the force you've become. The world, it doesn't break you anymore. You've learned to bend it to your will. But don't just stop at proving them wrong. That's not enough. This isn't about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your life, your mind, your future. It's about deciding that you are worth more than the pain, more than the betrayal, more than the doubts. So here's your call to action. Stop hesitating. Stop doubting yourself. Take a step, then another, then another. Build momentum, brick by brick, moment by moment, until you've created a life so powerful, so undeniable, that no one can take it away from you. And when they ask you how you did it, when they beg to know your secret, you'll smile. Not because you owe them an answer, but because deep down you'll know the truth. You didn't need them. You never did. All you needed was the strength within you, the fire they tried to extinguish but couldn't. So rise, take control, and let the world see what happens when someone refuses to be broken. This is your moment. Don't let it slip away.